Hello, good morning. And today, I'll be informing you guys a very important news from the United States based on a different perspective and angle. Here's the first news. Protest against racial discrimination triggered by the death of George Floyd has now continued for over 10 days. Violence and predatory acts that raged across the United States now began to disappear starting from 2 days ago, and a peaceful rally for justice began to take hold. The situation turned into an atmosphere of commemoration of George Floyd, who was a victim of police violence. On the 4th of June, the first memorial service was held in the United States to pray for George Floyd's eternal sleep. The memorial service first began in Miniepoliz, Minnesota, where George Floyd was sacrificed by a white police officer. On June 6, the memorial service will be held at Rayford, North Carolina. On June 8th, the memorial service will be held in Houston, Texas. On June 9th, a private funeral will be held in Houston. Rayford is where George Floyd was born, and Houston is hometown to where George Floyd spent most of his lifetime. The memorial ceremony at Minneapolis, where George Floyd was sacrificed, was held at the University of North Central. Many families, citizens, local political leaders, and human rights activists joined the ceremony. Meanwhile, Floyd's sibling protested, saying, "We want justice for Floyd, and Floyd will have it." Also, here's a quote from Al Sharpton, who organized the memorial service. "George Floyd's story is the story of black folks. You kept your knee on our neck. We had creative skills, but we could not get your knee off our neck. It's time for us, in George's name, to stand up and say, 'Get your knee off our neck.'" Also, Benjamin Crump, an attorney for the survivors, stated, "We don't want separate judicial system for whites and blacks." And Mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, shed tears in front of Floyd's coffin, kneeling down. The memorial service for George Floyd was broadcasted live on TV and internet. All Americans watched it together and mourned for Floyd. Subsequently, George Floyd's mourning event named Moment of Silence continued throughout the United States. And to honor Floyd, American citizens stopped all activities for the same time and mourned together silently. Senator from the Democratic Party held a silent time in the main hall of Washington, D.C. On the same day, New York and Iowa proclaimed a time of silent condolence across the United States at 2 p.m. At a hospital in Miami, medical staff kneeled and prayed for Floyd's death for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. 8 minutes 46 seconds is the time when the U.S. police officer pressed the neck of a person and suppressed human rights. Here's the second news. Racial discrimination protests that have been held for 10 days across the United States are hurting Koreans doing business in the United States. It is said that at least 3 damages have occurred in Los Angeles, Koreatown. The California government has deployed and defended the National Guard of California since June 1st in LA, Koreatown, the one of the largest Korean residents. According to Koreans in Koreatown, stated that fortunately a nightmare like LA riot in 1992 is unlikely to happen. However, just in case, the Korean community in LA has set up its own emergency patrol to patrol Koreatown. That was it for the news today, and I will always wish for peace and justice in America.